guy who can conquer death. That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do, or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead, and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. Power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always verdurous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing rainbows about the murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy. Becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative. We won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us home, to bring us home.
Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I was due in Nashville, Tennessee. Although technically I'm not recording yet. This is a live stream. Welcome one and all. Thank you so far to our donors Barrett Ludwig and James House, who have each donated about $1 via the YouTube live chat there. Whoa! $50 from Eagle Fam, who says, I normally don't add a message because I thought you couldn't see them. Wow, we are doing great today. $52. If we had a deck of cards and each card cost $1, then I'd be like, I should have bought a cheaper deck of cards. And so instead, I'll spend that money more wisely. Don't worry, Eagle Fam, Barrett, and Mr. House. Don't worry, I will spend that money well. We have lights to keep on and rent to pay, so no worries. Thank you, one and all. Welcome, everyone. Emily Hirschberger says, "What happened to your hat?" I think I lost it when I was skeleton killing. Whoops. Welcome, Tail and Feathers Workshop. Now, for those of you guys who have never been to a Joe Hill stream before, I'm going to lay down a few bits of background information. Every stream is basically like attending a Miller Boyette production, like Full House, Step by Step, Family Matters, or whatever. Anyway, you guys are the live studio audience. Why is the game so quiet? I can't hear the game at all. Can you guys hear the game? I can barely hear it. Okay. There we go. So anyway, what was I going to say? You guys are the live studio audience, and normally when I'm talking to the chat, I am hanging out and just engaging with you guys and having a good time. We're all palling around. Now, what happens, though, is at a certain point I'll say, it's time for me to record the episode, and I'll record segments of the episode live in front of you. And you guys tell me if you think that segment went well or poorly. Don't worry, the actual episode won't have clay mining. This is just during the setup. Don't worry, guys. So you guys will tell me if you think I did a good job or a bad job on the segment as it occurs. And then if I did a good job, I'll move on and record the next thing. Otherwise, I will try it again. What's all this terracotta for? We have a big thing in the nether hub that we're building, some sort of tunnel system. Yeah, you can change the color of terracotta, but it requires dyes. So, anyway, we are not going to be doing that right now. So, Barrett Ludwig says, I like to encourage tipping of live entertainment, be it in person or remotely. Well, thank you, Barrett. I appreciate that. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to build a little bit of the nether hub today. That's actually what we're going to do this video. And we're also going to talk a little bit about setbacks, because we've been talking a little bit about little victories and big victories in the last few episodes. And so today we're going to talk about setbacks, because I had a very exciting setback today. One that I was not expecting. And there are certain types of things when you're trying something new that we like to call like good problems. Like, oh, that's a good problem to have because it is a signal of growth, you know? Like, normally, okay, like this is a silly example, but normally, if somebody's teeth started to get loose, you'd be like, uh-oh, your teeth shouldn't get loose, that's no good. But, you know, with my 6-year-old daughter, who actually has lost 2 teeth so far, very excited about that, when her teeth start getting loose, that's just a sign that she's growing. Same thing when the back of her mouth starts hurting. It's not like, you know, for an adult, you'd be like, oh, well, I don't know about that back of your mouth hurting. That's no good. Well, for her, it's her 6-year molars. That's fine. So, oh, happy birthday, Jade. Is it your birthday? Who said, Jade the Geek with blonde hair says, can I get a shout out for my 18th birthday? You can, Jade. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a Jade. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. So, yeah, there we go. Happy birthday, Jade. And we've got almost enough nether or stuff to go. It's okay that it was a few days ago. You still get to be sung at. Deal with it. Okay, sometimes, if you guys have never been to one of my live streams before, sometimes I'll have to mute the microphone so I can cough. I've got a chronic cough, and I try not to ruin your ears with it. So if you ever hear the mic just kind of cut out for a few seconds, I'm probably not on the phone ignoring you. I'm probably coughing. I'm about to do that real quick right now. These are those behind-the-scenes Joe Hills things. You know, I always thought when I was getting started with this, like, I always wanted to work in radio when I was a kid, and having developed a digestive condition in college that gave me this, all sorts of problems, but including a chronic cough, I thought, well, now I'll never be able to work in radio. But it turns out, with the magic of video editing and mute buttons, I can still make YouTube videos. So, that's fun. 1 second. Hey, welcome, Pinkify. The stream has just started. So, yeah, you have not missed much. Yeah, like less than... just about 10 minutes, according to this. I've got an arrow. What's my favorite season of Hermitcraft, in my opinion? That's a really interesting question, because technically my favorite everything would be my opinion. Like, if I said my favorite dog was Jonathan Archer's Beagle from Star Trek Enterprise, that would be, like, my opinion, man. So, yeah, mutant for coughs is the Joe Hill's difference. Okay. The lyrics for all the songs should be out on... we sent them to all the music services. So, in theory, they should be going up soon, if they're not already. Welcome, Jetty Brian. Porthos was the name of Captain Archer's dog. Thank you. He's my favorite dog, but I don't know his name. Like, he never says it on screen. The dog he just kind of barks. I could have thought his name was Barky. Sarah Mike writes, Joe, I love to watch your streams while I'm knitting. For some reason, it makes it more fun. Uh-oh. Well, that's not how I intended to do any of that. Okay, so I'm going to break the boat. Did the boat fall out the side there? Okay, good. We got the boat now. So now we can put the boat down there, and then we'll pick up that. We picked up the egg. Dang it. This is how you get more chickens in here. Barrett Ludwig says, can I buy a copy of your CD directly from YouTube? We are on YouTube Music, but you can buy it on the Google Play Store. I've got the Google Play Store link. We're actually number 3 for folk music. We've been in the top 10 for folk music on the Google Play Store for 3 days in a row, which is insane to me. But I think that means that nobody buys folk music on the Google Play Store, if we're doing that well. Now this link I'm about to post next is the top albums in folk on Google Play Store. This is a geographically based list, so US people should see us at number 3. People in the UK might see us further down. Folk music. You know, music made by folks. Tom Lehrer once argued that the real problem with folk music is that it's written by the people. Which I thought was funny. Okay. Poultry Man is on vacation. Okay, so now we need to go... Okay, we're gonna... Why don't we start the episode from the other side? Nobody would expect that, because it's a strange place to start the episode from. So we're just gonna try an angle to end up right in there. Nope, that's how you die. There's a parrot. Scrooge McParrot, CFO. Okay, this is delightful. I didn't know what I was expecting. Apparently we're 66 on folk music in Canada. So if Canadians want to buy our album, you can do that. You can do that. Okay, so I'm going to grab a quick sip of my Sundrop before I start. So let me mute, and I'm going to start the recording. Well, curse me kilts, it's Scrooge McParrot, CFO. Okay. No, I'm not actually going to do that. Whoops, why don't we have... Okay, Scar, are you missing a bird? Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm just hanging out with Scrooge McParrot, the Chief Financial Officer of, presumably, an organization. I'm not sure which one, although I've heard rumors that Mr. Scar, who is famous for his good times, has lost a bird recently. I sent him a message, but he has not yet responded. If he does, we'll be able to tell him where his bird has been relocated to. Hey, I know it's rude to eat without you. Do you wanna fish? No. Okay, you don't want to fish. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just remember where we found this fella, in case Scar does get back to us. In the meantime, I wanted to climb this ladder because it's always important in Minecraft episodes to establish a sense of verticality, you know? Nobody wants to just see you, like, hanging out in, like, a long horizontal hallway. People look at this and go, Joe Hills, you're not challenging yourself. Okay, Scar says his bird is still in its cage. Okay, I found a Scrooge McParrot CFO in the nether. Not yours, then. Good to know. Good to know. So anyway, we're going to establish that sense of verticality. We're going to believe that we can fly, and we're going to go above and beyond belief. You know, what's beyond belief, you might ask? Well, Ripley, believe it or not, you can actually build things in Minecraft. See this orange terracotta donation chest we've been dumping all this orange terracotta into? Well, oh wait, do you need his location? I have no idea what's actually going on here. Maybe somebody's playing hide and seek with Scar's bird, which seems really cruel because, like, animals aren't pawns, you know? You're supposed to treat them with respect. But anyway, I was thinking, I have enough orange terracotta here, I can come in and, like, work on these other people's builds. It would have been smart if I brought literally any sort of bridging apparatus or something. You know, I bet I could fly up there, right? You know, I'm a pretty talented fella. Whoa, okay. Maybe not that talented. Maybe not that talented. Okay. So it looks like they put in this scaffold in here with the expectation that they were going to come back and complete this. Now, you know, hopefully it's not going to be too disruptive if we just do our part to contribute to this part of the tunnel on the server. Sometimes it's easy to tell if you're helping or hurting. Other times it's not. Maybe they were going to put some sort of elaborate mural here. They'll have to mine it back out. In which case, orange terracotta placement person, you have my apologies. I did not mean to disrupt your beautiful artwork. I was thinking, though, that I could probably just continue down along this wall and be, you know, totally set in terms of helping on the server. But as I'm evaluating this, it looks like I would need to have some birch planks as well, which I did not bring with me. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about this episode as we contribute to the server is, you know, I wanted to go back to last episode's concept of celebrating small victories, and I wanted to talk a little bit about celebrating small setbacks. Now you might say, Joe, why would you celebrate a setback? I think that there are kind of different classes of problems. Okay, so hear me out. There are some problems that are always bad, and there are some problems that are kind of more reflective of growth. They're the sort of problems that you run into because good things are happening, right? So, for example, one quote-unquote good problem to have might be that, you know, let's look at a few examples, actually. Let's say that you are hanging out and you realize that one of your teeth is loose, right? That seems like a bad problem to have. That is objectively not really what you were going for in your mouthful region when all this started. But, you know, in the right context, for example, I keep wanting to say 5-year-old, but my 6-year-old daughter lost 2 teeth last week. And for her, this small setback of being 2 teeth short is actually indicative of overall growth. And we even took her to the dentist because she was complaining that she was experiencing some pain in the back of her mouth. And I thought, like, that's probably pretty normal when you got teeth growing in and stuff. But just to be safe, why don't we, you know, go ahead and talk to the dentist? And, you know, I'm worried that this is supposed to come in further because it seems like they wouldn't have put this there in this way if they didn't want this to go in. Okay, so maybe we have a setback here because we don't fully understand what our teammates are doing. But anyway, where was I? Hermitcraft. Yes. So, sometimes you experience a setback because it is a symptom or a result of growth that you are genuinely proud of. My daughter's not freaking out because she's losing teeth. She's excited, and we're excited for her. You know, if she was 27 and she was losing teeth, we'd have a different conversation, as the kids might say. But, you know, at this point, it's natural and it's good. And anyway, I'm kind of dancing around the issue here. We had a little bit of a setback with the album. Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills, the one that I wrote and that my brother performed. And I wanted to talk about that. First, though, I've got my small victory bell right here because we've managed to stay in the top 10 in the Google Play Top Albums and Folk list for 3 days. So that's 3 rings for 3 days of small victories. You know, and for most of that time, we had a 100% perfect, 5-star score. We had gotten like 16, 17 ratings, and they were all 5-star. And I was just like, oh man, I have the best fans. They're listening to these musics, and they're giving them 5 stars on the Google Play Store. And that's really cool. And I'm really happy about it. That's exciting to me, that people are loving the album and listening to it. And unfortunately, all things must change eventually. And so when I went to check this evening, right before I started the stream, what our current Google Play ranking is, we are still number 3 in the U.S. in top albums and folk. However, our star rating has actually dropped. We have received a single 1-star review. And now, before you guys start going, Joe, are you all right? Are you okay? Like, I know that must be an immense psychological blow for you. I'd like to remind you guys that, like, I make things on the internet all the time, and I get mean comments and stuff. It's okay. I get one bad review on this Google Play thing, though, and it's way different, you know? Because all the bad comments I get on YouTube, I'm just like, well, you know, that's how YouTube is. People are going to whine, people are going to complain, whatever. But you know what? I see that bad comment on the Google... Well, it's not even a bad comment. The person didn't bother to leave a review. They just left a 1-star rating and moved on. But, you know, I saw that, and I just freaked out. I was so excited, because I was like, this means that random people who have no idea who we are listening to our music, and they are shocked and horrified, as they rightly should be. Everything that we make makes a lot of sense in the context of, you know, if you're a Joe Hills fan and you hear Sean Hills sings Joe Hills, you're going to be like, yeah, this is my jam. Send me a wave via subspace, brothers. But random people on the internet who hear it are going to be like, who is the guy who conquers death? What's Joe Hills? You know? So the fact that we are starting to get, or the fact that we have received our first bad review, or our first bad star on this, means that we are expanding past the initial audience for this album. I thought, like, oh, some of my fans will hear it, and that's cool. But, like, other people out there in the world are hearing it. And, you know what? Maybe they don't all like it, but why would they? You know, like, nothing is universally beloved. Even something like the film Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan. Occasionally, you know, people see that movie and they go, you know, I don't get what the big deal is. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? You don't understand how this is a good movie? Okay. I mean, that's your right and your privilege as a citizen of a free country, but, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Whereas, like, anyway, so, yeah, certain things have universal value, like the film Field of Dreams. Everybody loves it. Or Heaven Can Wait. But, yeah, my music and my brother's performance is actually amazing regardless of your taste. But my writing it has a certain niche, and I recognize that. And so it's just, it feels good to know that the work is getting out there in the world. So we're having a minor setback. We no longer have a perfect 5-star score on the Google Play Store. We have a 4.8. And who knows, maybe after you guys listen to it more or buy the album, we'll be back to 5. We'll be at 4.95. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. You know? And it's funny too, because like sometimes I know I make a good Minecraft episode when a lot of people freak out. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the episode where I put lava on Mumbo's base. Or not Mumbo's base, on Grian's base. Because he turned my object lesson about not murdering people into a murder device. Which, well, please no. You know, that video, so many people had such a powerful emotional response to it. I think that video had something like 3,000 responses or comments about it. And like 1,000 of them were me like trying to explain the joke to people and be like, thanks for watching. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And they're like, I didn't enjoy it. I'm so mad. And I'm like, you enjoyed it. You just don't appreciate that you enjoyed it. Your emotional response isn't a level of engagement that I only aspire to most of the time. Thank you. Thank you for engaging with my artwork. And then a lot of them never came back. But you know what? I was really proud of myself. So anyway, yeah. So getting a whole bunch of angry comments on a YouTube video doesn't always mean you made a bad YouTube video. Sometimes it means you made a powerful YouTube video. Anyway. And I'm not somebody who's like going out there and intentionally trying to make things just to shock people. You know, I'm worried that this gap here might have been intentional partially. But oh, like, is this the next level? Well, no, because inside of that they fill that top part. So even if this is where the next, like, gate is, this upper part would still be filled in, I think. So we would be okay. Yeah, we would be okay here. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to just kind of keep placing these blocks and just enjoy and laugh a little bit, you know? You know, when you, let's say that you signed up for a writing class and, you know, you get your first bit of feedback and there's a lot of negative stuff in there, like you need to change this, you need to change that. You know what that means? That means you're in a writing class. That's what happens in a writing class. That means you took a step toward becoming a better writer. And you should be proud of yourself. You know? It's a good problem to have, that you have someone taking you seriously enough to give you notes that will require you to edit your work. You know? Like, when I write my poems, it's just me. And I try my best with them, but, you know, it can be kind of lonely just doing all that stuff by yourself. You know, if you've gone out of your way to join a community to make your artwork better, yeah. That is a small victory. And yeah, the individual, like, here's a list of 50 things that you could have done better. That might feel like a setback, but you can handle it. You can handle it. Man. Okay, so we actually put in a segment here. I was hoping to do, like, this whole length here. But I'm nervous because I feel like they would have put the scaffolding on the outside if they wanted it to cut that way. What does this say here? Possible ZF-based tunnel access. Okay. Well, I love this whole concept. I just want to say. The Isuma and everybody else who's worked on this up here really thought it through. Why don't we go check out some of the other ones, though? Because there's like a whole... Can we jump fast enough to actually take advantage of this? Yay! Maybe some of the other tunnels more clearly need work, because like there's a bunch of dyes here. So if I need to make red or yellow clay, we can just use some of that and repurpose it. Oh, I forgot to bring cactus dye. That would have been smart. Let's go see if these other tunnels narrow, because if the other tunnels narrow at that... Okay. Interesting. So this one seems to have 4 or 5 segments and definitely does not appear to narrow. That's very helpful to know. That's actually... I really like this green with the end stone there. Oh, this is such a good tunnel. I just want to eat a carrot and admire it. This is a good tunnel, you guys. Where does this go? Seems to be a portal here. this is a really... Oh, is this the end? Oh, this is so cool. Do I need anything from the end while I'm here? Not really. So we're not going to use it, but that's a really cool placement. And apparently we've got like a bubble vader here with an up and a down. Why don't we go up it and see where that goes? I'm kind of curious. The middle of the ocean. Whoa. That is pretty awesome. That is one regret I have from the Hermitcraft prank war, is that I never got to build a giant Enderman picking up the enemy base. That would have been really cool. But anyway, I don't know how much of this is spoilers, but... Oh, that's his legs! Oh! Oh, this whole thing is so neat. I was wondering what those were. Oh, this is a cool thing. I believe False might have been working on this. That's super cool. So anyway, we are... Whoa! That portal did not drop us off back anywhere near where I expected. Oh, but if we were on top of the... That's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say hello to this parrot again. Hello, Scrooge McParrot, CFO. And we're going to swing back up this ladder and then take a run and jump. Oh man, we're getting low on rockets, so we better not screw this up. I think we can do that one rocket. Can we? No, 2 rockets. And that's how you hurt your face. Ouch. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go check out that red tunnel. I'm feeling a lot more confident about continuing that orange tunnel, though. I haven't seen the green one. But let's get a little bit more data. Make sure that none of these narrow. Now, it does seem like a lot of these have these routine gaps here. So, clearly we need to pay attention to how far out those are. Okay, this one, it does definitely stay the same width the whole way. Very cool. Okay, so we've seen the red, the green, and the orange. We'll just check out the blue, and then keep building, I think. Time skip. Guys, I gotta grab a drink for a second. 1 second. I'm gonna put on a song while I do. We're gonna put on Send Me Away Via Subspace. You're hydrated.
Send me away via subspace. Beam me a message from home. Cast me a hello in hollow. Tell me I'm not all alone. The corridors are narrow and the rations miss the mark as we fly like Xeno's arrow past the sparkles in the dark. I think of home and what I miss is picnics in the park. So send me away via subspace. Tap me a line or two, because though we grow distantly, relativistically, I'm coming home to you.
Alrighty, we are back. Welcome one and all. Okay, so here's what we are gonna do. We still need to go to the blue tunnel. Sorry, I need to cough again. My allergies have really been acting up. Hey, thank you for the $1.65, Bay. Also, I think that we got a donation while I was recording, so let me thank Bay for the $5 earlier as well. Philosophy of Minecraft. You give Joe Hills rose and violets. You give his live if you Minecraft. Thanks. I'm not sure exactly what all that meant, but I appreciate it. So thank you for the $6.65 total, Bay. And let me make sure we didn't get any other donations via PayPal. Okay, cool. Let's go to the blue tunnel. Let's go to the blue tunnel. Let's go to the blue tunnel and do a little bit of reconnaissance. You guys are saying it's so cold. Man, it's super hot in Nashville today. Okay, see, I like that this blue tunnel is already partially dug out. So, like, why don't we go get a bunch of swamp flowers, right? They make the light blue, Is this dark blue or light blue? Do you guys know? I think that this is light blue. There we go. We got some light blue dye here. Yes, Megan does things. I can see you. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. You know, having reviewed all of the tunnels, it seems like they all follow the same basic pattern. Now, this blue tunnel here, though, I noticed there's plenty of light blue dye. So what I'm thinking is I'll take some of the light blue dye, some of the massive abundance of orange terracotta I have. And what if we made light blue terracotta, right? You might be like, Joe, that's madness. It's like, it's not madness. It's creativity. And then you guys would be like, Joe, you kind of paused there when you said it wasn't madness. Are you really sure? And I'd be like, guys, sometimes I put weird pauses in the middle of my sentences, and that's not necessarily a measure of conviction or lack thereof. And you guys would be like, I don't know. And you would be justified. You'd be justified in having that dubiousness. Man, I remember when our daughter was born, Corinne was always making these dubious faces whenever we showed her anything new. And it was the cutest thing. She was our little dubious baby. And for the last year or so, I've not been allowed to call her the baby. And it's an adjustment. But, you know, we grow and we move on. And I guess, you know, that's a good problem to have, too. Not being allowed to call your kid the baby anymore. You know, that's fine. Even though, you know, she's always my little daughter, you know. I'm glad that she's at a point where she's asserting herself and saying, like, no, don't call me that. That's a good thing, you know? Getting that sense of self going. You know, and it's important to always be kind of, like, thinking about, though, as like, a child grows. You know, we were talking about the teeth thing. You know, we try to stay ahead of that with the kids by warning them, hey, don't freak out if your teeth start falling out. That's normal. And, you know, don't worry, the tooth fairy will come. And so you don't have to be upset. And, like, that's all, you know, really an excellent planning mechanism. And it's important, though, that we have our own planning mechanisms in place for some of the things that might be minor setbacks for us, you know? Like, if you know that you're going to take a class where you have to read a lot of books, I don't know, maybe look at the syllabus in advance so you are prepared to read all of those books so you can get access to them early, so you can see which ones are in the library and which ones you have to buy, you know? There's just kind of some basic life skills. People keep using the word adulting about, like, this sort of stuff, but, like, I prefer competence. Like, you don't have to act like a grown-up to be a fundamentally competent person, you know? You can just look at what's more than 5 feet ahead of you, you know? You can say, if I want to do this, what obstacles should I expect to face? One of the obstacles might be, I have to go look things up in a library. Okay. Or I have to go to a bookstore, or I have to borrow these books. How do I do that? Where are these places? Who would I talk to? You know? And just, you know, not procrastinating and putting everything off till the last minute. You know, you can get a lot more done. But, you know, obviously, though, there's going to be cases where we are not mentally prepared. Or not, like, or what I was, maybe not mentally, no, that's actually the opposite of what I wanted to say, where we're not specifically prepared for whatever setback is occurring. Because, like, you know, with the tooth thing, okay, we know kids are going to lose their teeth, so we plan ahead as parents. But sometimes stuff comes up that you're just like, I didn't even know that could happen. What now? Well, the thing is, if you train yourself in general to be prepared for setbacks, you'll be better suited to prepare, like, to respond when chaotic and unexpected things happen. Like, honestly, this might sound really dumb, but it did not occur to me in advance that anyone would give our album a 1-star rating. And that is entirely because I figured nobody who disliked our album would care enough to leave a rating at all. They probably wouldn't listen to it or wouldn't click on it in the Play Store. I just assumed we would be ignored by everyone. And the fact that we got anyone being nice to us and giving us 5-star ratings, I was like, well, there's probably some fans of my YouTube show who will give us some nice ratings. And, we'll probably have some middle-of-the-pack ones. But, the fact that we're getting 5-star ratings, that we're reaching this broader audience, nah, man. Totally, completely surprised. Which, it's the dumbest thing, because in retrospect, I'm like, well, somebody probably cares enough to give 1-star ratings on stores. You see them all the time. But, I just didn't know it could happen to me. And it's really exciting to me that it did. So, I didn't actually do the math on how much higher up these go. So, let's quickly verify this. So, it looks like from where this gold and the stairs are, it goes directly over, and then we have 1, 2, 3 blocks. Is that correct? That might be 4 blocks. No, that's 3. Okay. And then we... Well, actually, the easy thing to remember is it always lines up with the next stairs. And it's always 1 over from that. So we'll just head back here and make sure that aligns properly, and we should be in good shape, okay? So, yeah. We'll just align this here. And there we go. We are making progress now. And not, it would have been smart to make ladders. Maybe I'm going to make some ladders. Why don't we, once we get done... Actually, this whole segment would be easier to do if I just made the ladders in advance. Let's go find those oak logs or birch logs or whatever and make maybe 8 ladders. We don't need a ton of ladders for this, but we clearly need some. Time skip. Stop recording. Alrighty. So let's see. Do we have any more donations we need to acknowledge? Not at the moment. Somebody says, Chloe Harris says Joe Hill sounds like a 20-year-old. Guys, when I get on the bus driver will, the bus drivers in town here will frequently ask me, 3 or 4 times a month, because there's a lot of bus drivers, so it's not like the same one always forgets me. It's that, there's enough different ones. But I get asked at least 3 or 4 times a month how old I am. And when I say 32, they say, oh, sorry, we thought you qualified for I thought you might have been a youth. A youth, for the purposes of the bus system, is somebody under the age of 18. I'm 32, and I keep having the bus driver ask if I'm 18. So, yeah, I guess it's okay that you guys think I'm 20, because you think I'm several years older than the bus driver does. Thanks. Yep. Okay, so here we go. We are going to take these now and place them. They're going to go here. And then we'll place the light blue below it. Say you're a youth and save money. Guys, I don't need to save 30 cents that badly. I don't go through all this trouble to actually ask you guys to help me support my YouTube channel and stuff, to then need to lie to the bus driver about my age. I just want to be me. I don't need to be ashamed of who I am. You guys are saying I have young energy. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't feel like it a lot of the time. I've tried it. A lot of my energy goes into making these videos and these streams. So, when I'm not streaming or making videos, a lot of times I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. I need to go to sleep right now because I'm old. Our daughter didn't sleep through the night for the first, 9 months after she was born. And I think we're only starting to recover now. It's been 6 years. It was not an easy 6 years. Hello, Jehovah. Welcome. Welcome, Wimby, as well. I sound more southern than the Southern Water Tribe. I bet, although they're from Antarctica, or the South Pole. I don't think they have Antarctica in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think they just call it the South Pole, but... Sounding more southern than Sokka of the Southern Water Tribe is pretty impressive, so I'll take it. Yep. Brad Rock says, my daughter's almost 2 and barely sleeps through the night. Yeah. It is so rough when you have a kid who does not let you sleep. Like, it is... People don't realize how tired a human being can get. I didn't realize it. But, like, man, it takes so much out of you. And like, the problem is, too, that the more tired you get, the harder it is for you to accurately assess your own level of exhaustion. So, you really can... It's, you know, it's anyway. It's fine. I don't want to get super negative, but yeah, it's like, wow. Yeah, when our daughter was first born and didn't sleep through the night for the first 3 months, we were telling our friends, like, oh, we're so glad we had a baby, when we're so young, because, we can bounce back from this. And after, like, when we got to the 9-month point, we're telling our friends, like, guys, don't even think about having a baby right now. Just give it like 10 years. They're going to have those Gattaca babies where they genetically are modified to sleep through the night, and just you'll thank us. Just wait. Don't rush into this. Do people still watch Gattaca? I don't even know. It was a Jude Law movie. Oh, hello to Oak Ridge, Matt Lewandowski. I drove through the Oak Ridge area last weekend, driving back from Wilderness at the Smokies, which is an indoor water park. It was pretty cool. Weekend Bacon says, is that really a thing? Well, they don't have the genetically engineered babies yet, but that's the point of saying give it 10 years. You'll be glad you waited. I don't know if they'll actually have those in 10 years. It's kind of it's a joke. Much of what I say is actually a joke, guys. A lot of people are saying they had to watch Gattaca in biology class. Good. It's an interesting study in biomedical ethics and genetic ethics. It's a fun movie, too. I am from Nashville. That's me. Truck Pipe says, is Kareem wanting to go back to the water park? Of course, all children want to go back to the water park at all times. But, I said, maybe for a different, we were there for a friend's birthday, a friend of the family's birthday, and so it's like, well, maybe we can go back sometime, but not soon, like for special occasions, because it's not cheap, And it's like, as much as I would love to be the dad who can take his kid to the water park every weekend, that's a lot of... It's like a 3.5-hour drive, and it's super expensive. Like, it's fine as a, like, once a year or twice a year maybe expense, but, like, to go all the time it'd be a lot. So, it looks like we can just go straight against the ceiling here. Hey, evening, New Jersey Coffee Junkie. Yeah, people comment on my videos sometimes like, I didn't realize you were really from Nashville. I'm like, guys, look at my Twitter. I post pictures I take and videos I make around the city all the time. Like, yeah, I really live in Nashville. Yes, it's true. Yeah, I know there's that new water park at the Opryland Hotel. The thing about that, though, is you have to stay at the Opryland Hotel, which is super expensive. And it's harder to justify staying at a hotel when you live in the town. Because it's like, well, I don't want to pay Opryland money when I could just, like, be home in a half hour. Where does this nether tunnel lead to? That's a great question, Rohan. I have no idea. I'm just building it. I didn't really, Ours is not to question why. Ours is just to do and die. Yes, I'm on Twitter, Matt Lewandowski. At Joe Hills. We're placing blocks in Minecraft. Boom, 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 boom. Da 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 ba ba. Da da. Okay. That's weird. I'm occasionally getting like static in my headphones. I'm hoping that's coming through the headphone cable and not coming from the game. I should just do this in the middle here so then I can be on either side. Ah, that was not good block placement. Why doesn't your streaming software record your cursor? I don't know, man. Because it's family friendly, so there's no cursoring. Do I play any other games besides Minecraft? Yeah. I usually don't stream those, though, because I play certain other games to, like, relax. Like, I play Pokemon Go because I like walking around town, and it's fun to do with my friends, which is one of the reasons I wrote a song about playing Pokemon Go with my friends. I play few Nintendo Switch games, but I don't really stream them because I don't like Nintendo's streaming policies. What level in Pokemon Go? I think I'm 38. Welcome to Lord Jordan from Michigan. Hope you are having a good time in our stream. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and load these in here. It'll be easier to get up and down when we get scaffolding. Yeah, I'm so excited that that pre-release is out. That means they're getting really close. I mean, it might only be another month, which sounds like sarcasm, but like I'm actually excited about it only being another month. I really want the editable books. That's huge for me. Editable books in Minecraft. That's good for Joe Hills. What's my favorite part about being a parent? I don't know. I'm really bad at favorite questions, guys. Like, I tend to like whatever I'm doing at the moment the most. Like, I try to just live in that moment and not get too fixated on what I want to do next. And sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail, but I don't do well being put on the spot and being like if I was asked, like, Joe, what's your favorite type of Mexican food? Like, it's like, I like so many types of Mexican food. Why would you ask me that? They're all good. And they might say, are they really all good? Would you order this? And I'd be like, well, maybe I wouldn't order that, but I'd order like 15 other things. Why arrows in the offhand? Oh, because I didn't want them clogging up my inventory. Who's my favorite Pokemon? I really like Klefki. I like all the little ghost item Pokemon. They just make me happy. Because it's like, oh no, he's a ghost who took keys. I don't know. It's adorable. Guys, I have so many friends on Pokemon Go right now that I don't have enough time to give everyone gifts as it is. So I'm not currently adding new friends randomly on Pokemon Go. Sorry. Wait, where's that coming from? That's do not want. Do we have an actual way to throw these arrows? We do. That's why we have arrows in our offhand. Of course, there's a helicopter now. Well, that didn't go well. We're just gonna hang out down here. New plan. Okay. I don't want to go into details about my diet, guys, because that's super, like, it's not helpful for me to say, like, what I can and can't eat, because my physiology is so weird that, like, I don't want people being like, oh, I should try that diet. It's like, no, you shouldn't. This diet is uniquely helpful for my very specific weird problems. Like, because like, in the same way, like if somebody's like, Joe, what motherboard does your computer have? It's like, you don't want the motherboard I have. You shouldn't want it. My use case is so weird compared to yours. It's not like, it's not that it's a secret. It's just people imbue information like that with more value than it actually has. And so I would be unintentionally misleading people by sharing that information. It's not productive. So sorry to like not answer your question directly, but everybody needs to keep track of their own stuff, because I've tried, when I first started having digestive problems back in like 2006, I tried all sorts of different diets and recommendations and stuff, and none of them ended up being really what I needed. And in fact, some of them set me back a ways. So you got to just experiment for yourself. What kind of places do I like to travel to in or out of town? Well, I like to go hiking, like to wander around the city. Yeah, everyone's different, especially if somebody has weird digestive issues. Their diet is going to be like weird and unhelpful. That's just the nature of it. Okay. Sorry, I got a cough again. Okay, so we're going to put the birch slabs back in here. What's your opinion on universal basic income? In my opinion, my artistic career's biggest limiting factor has been lack of access to healthcare and excessive educational debt. And some people say, like, well, you know, we can't just give away things for free because some people would take advantage of them. And that's probably true. Some people would. But you know what? I watched a lot of my friends from Canada and the UK have their YouTube channels take off, while I couldn't really put in the same effort that they could, because they could go to their bosses and say, hey boss, instead of working 40 hours a week next week, I want to work 32. And then, you know, they work on their YouTube channel for a little bit, and a few weeks later they'd say, hey, can I cut down my shifts to 20 hours a week? And they would just keep doing that until they went full-time on YouTube. And in America, when I tried to do that, my bosses were like, well, you would lose your health insurance, and also, no, we would actually just find somebody else who wants to work full-time. And so universal basic income and things like that can be very helpful to people who are trying to get interesting projects off the ground. And I personally believe that I would have benefited from those types of programs. And I don't care how many other people would have cheated at those systems, because I want to see people like me make the world a better place as fast as we can. I think that there are more people who are well-intentioned and would want to be productive with this sort of thing than would try to take advantage of it. And so, realistically, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. And I'm not an economist, though. Somebody might say, Joe, we tried this experiment, and you're incorrect. There are more people that would take advantage of it than would would help the world. But the problem is, it's a gamble. You can't know the value of these people's contributions who wouldn't take advantage of it, who would earnestly try to make the world a better place with that time and money. Like, I lost so much time paying off those student loans and the educational debt. And I had somebody on my Twitter say like, well, you know, you wouldn't be you wouldn't feel as proud right now if you hadn't paid that off yourself. And I'm like, I spent like 10 years paying this off, and it slowed down every other part of my life that I wanted to work on. There's all sorts of software development projects I didn't get to work on. It slowed down my YouTube channel. Like, I would be so much more proud if I had accomplished a fifth of the things that I had to put off because I had to take random freelance work building terrible websites for people that I didn't really want to do, but that paid well, and I had to pay this debt off. And so, okay, I'm sorry if you, anybody who asks about PewDiePie is getting timed out or banned. I don't have time to talk about PewDiePie, because if you haven't noticed, I'm 10 years behind on my life because of my loans. That's how I feel about things like universal income, is people need a chance to make something of themselves, and forcing them to learn a lesson by making them be miserable and work on stuff that they don't necessarily want to do is possibly a waste of potential. So, I'm sorry. I get very upset about this, but like, it took me years and years and years to get to this point in my life where I can actually do the things that I want to do to try to make the world a better place at the pace that I want to do them. Thank you for the $5, Pope Kermy. And, you know, I'm very lucky that you guys, like Pope Kermy and Eagle Fam and Bay from earlier and Mr. House, you know, are donating and chipping in and helping me do that, because, like, you know, I'm not getting grants from the government to make my artwork. I'm making it on my own, you know, but that's not true. I'm making it with you guys. You guys are helping. So it's not really on my own entirely, but you know what I mean? Like, if there was a system that meant I didn't have to ask you guys for money, I would be very happy. So, Ryan Smith says, Joe, I've had a really bad day and just got home in New Jersey. I've opened up YouTube and I'm glad you're streaming. You're a really inspiring artist, and I'm thankful to have you around. Well, thank you, Ryan. I'm glad to help. And, yeah. Buddhabot EDM says, Joe, you make my life a lot better and more positive. Thank you. But yeah. Welcome, Fawcett Rememberly, who says, tuning in from 4 a.m. at Southeast England. Wow. Yeah, that is early. Southeast England. That is by Dover, I guess, based on my knowledge of England. Brad Rock donated $5 and says, your artwork is appreciated. Thank you, Brad. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys do chip in and help finance this. Like, I don't go out of my way to ask for money the way some people do who do this full time. And I understand why those techniques are important and why they work and stuff, but like, part of me always feels like I shouldn't have to do that. Like, if there was some sort of better universal basic income or better government grants for artists who do the sort of thing I do, thank you for the $1, Professor Buffalo, then I'd rather do that. Kaylee J says, what kind of schooling did you do? I have a degree from Vanderbilt University in history, and I took a lot of classes on philosophy, religious studies, and multiple languages. It's really important, if you have the opportunity, to try to take as many interesting classes as you can in college. You know, Like if one of my siblings said, hey, I want to be a chemical engineer, I'd be like, awesome. But while you're there, take some weird classes, because you don't, you're going to have a bunch of classes that you absolutely have to take in chemical engineering, but there's going to be some opportunities to do some weird stuff that you'll see it on the schedule and be like, wait, I can sign up for a class about this or that, and then just do it. Just sign up for that. Learn something that you wouldn't expect to learn. Am I going to go see Tolkien in May? What is Tolkien doing in May? I thought he was in the ground. Kendra Baker says, if I had money to contribute to your art and your family, I would donate. You're my favorite hermit, and it is a goal of mine to make an episode mid-roll ad-free. Well, Kendra Baker, let me tell you something. All of you guys who don't have money to donate are in the same boat that I was in, like when I was paying off my loans and stuff. It is just part of life that there are going to be times when you want to help people in some ways financially and you can't. But you being here in the chat and you participating is helping in a very real way that is not financial, but like we can't put all of our eggs in financial happiness baskets because honestly, those baskets are the ones that a lot of the big corporations are trying to kick over and steal all the eggs out of, You guys showing up and just chatting, just enjoying the video. That is so important to me. That is why I do this. Like I said, needing to ask for money is a bug. You guys showing up is a feature. Now, I appreciate the people who do give money, obviously, because clearly I need to, pay for studio space and things like that. But, like, at the same time, the goal is to make as many cool things as possible. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the, we put the songs up for the album on YouTube Music because it doesn't cost you anything to download them or to watch them, And we could have said like, oh well, we only want to put the songs up places where people can pay money or they have to pay money. But like, we made the songs to be listened to. We made the songs to be enjoyed. Yes, we need money to not starve, but that's just where we're stuck at. That's like if somebody like you would have to pay me extra to make the music exclusive, Like if iTunes said, Joe, we love your album so much, we want to only put your album on iTunes, and it's going to cost $10 more than everywhere else, and everywhere else you can't buy it. I'd be pretty like, no? I mean, they would have to pay me enough money that I could make you guys so much free stuff otherwise. They would have to pay me enough money to quit my day job and still have health insurance, basically. And the only reason I would even do it at that point is because I would go, well, you know what? I'm selling one album to iTunes exclusively so that I can make more free stuff for everybody else everywhere else. Like all the folks who back me on Patreon or whatnot, I tell them all the time that what they're doing is they're paying for the whole community to get my videos. I'm not giving them a ton, like, there's some Patreon exclusive stuff, like, okay, we have our own Discord and stuff, but like, the real thing they're paying for is to make everything better for everyone else, for everyone who can't afford to give $5, or, hey, Green Acres gave $50, and writes, for some reason, well, technically $49.99. For some reason, my phone won't go to $50. This amount is more like an infomercial amount because it's late for us parents. You are awesome, Joe, and I love your videos and music. Thank you so much, Green Acres Pest Control. And thank you, Meredith Lunchley, for the $5 as well. Like, you guys are keeping this going. And you're making it easier for me to travel. And, like, when I go to these conventions that I ask you guys to help me pay for, the people that I'm seeing at the conventions, I'm not going and hanging out in VIP rooms where I'm charging $20 to hang out. I'm talking to parents who are there with their, like, 8-year-old, and the parent is just like, hi, my kid says you're Joe Hills, and I don't know what that means, but he's really excited, or she's really excited. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm happy to meet them. Do you have anything that you want me to sign for them? And, I got a Sharpie here. And then, like, if the kid has a Minecraft sword or something, I'll sign it. And if they don't, I'll say, do you want me to sign your badge or your program? Because, if you're at a convention, you have this stuff with you. And I'll just sign something for this kid, or I'll let them take a picture with me. And I don't charge money for that. Because I don't work this hard to have to beg people for money to sign something for their child. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, I ask you guys for money so that I can give freely to as many people as possible, And thank you for the $20, Captain Jack, who says, appreciate your stream of consciousness conversation. And Kiana Henderson, who's donated £1, thank you to you as well. I'm learning all the international currencies. But, sorry, I'm kind of getting sidetracked a lot here, because there's a lot of things going on with this conversation. But, like, Emily Hirschberger said, will you sign something for me and my tortoise? Yeah, if you are at a convention I am at, I will pretty much sign anything within reason. Like, if somebody's like, hey, Joe, would you sign this, like, weapon? I might not sign, like, something that looks dangerous. But that's, like, just out of not, wanting to encourage people to be violent. And not necessarily, like, if somebody's like, hey, would you sign this 20-foot sword? I'd be like, 20 feet long swords are not safe. Marco Haas says, how do I get money to donate? That's the bigger problem. Here's the thing, Marco. If you go out there and you finish school and you get a job, hopefully all the folks who are older than you and already have jobs and are chipping in will keep me going for decades. I want to do this forever. And you guys, the folks who are already given, will make sure that I'm able to do that without starving to death in the meantime. And, Joseph Rook says, Joe, will you sign this legally binding contract? It's for a fan. Yeah, I won't sign legally binding contracts at conventions. But here's the thing, is that if you guys have, eventually, even if you're not in a place in your life right now where you can afford to donate, that's fine. Because, like I said, I wasn't for many years able to support people that I liked. And now I'm able to do so because I paid off my student loans. And that was a lot of money I was spending every month. And, it's important to support people where you can. So I need to probably close out this episode because it is getting late and I need to edit it. Damian Lavari says, how do I donate? Well, there is a paypal.me link in the description, but I can find that real quick. paypal.me/Joe Hills. Let me find that. I'll paste this here. Kittybit says, Joe, you ever consider getting a merch store? So I actually used to run a merch store for my webcomic before I got married. And let me tell you, being married and running a merch store are difficult things to do at the same time. Because when it was... Dang it. Of course I fell down here. When it was me and my roommate making the webcomic, we could just have our living room be full of merch. And then I would take it down to the post office, and that'd be fine. That was all we needed. But, now that I've got a family, it's a little bit more complicated than that logistically. So, which has less fees for you, PayPal or YouTube Super Chat? PayPal is way better on fees than YouTube. But a lot of people really like YouTube, so I'm not going to stop them from using YouTube if that's... Yeah, YouTube takes something like 30%, I think, which is... I did have a webcomic. I still have so much... I have just boxes and boxes of old shirts in the studio that... Oh, no, there's another guest. Yeah, I don't have... I need to get rid of the surplus webcomic inventory of t-shirts before I start printing new t-shirts. No, I don't... The thing is, a lot of third-party merch stores are really terrible. Oh, no worries, Green Acres Pest Control. Here's the thing, though, is that YouTube likes it when I make money through the YouTube thing because it makes them money. And so it's kind of one of those things where, like, yeah, I know it's more convenient. YouTube. It makes YouTube like me more if I make money through the super chat, so then they're more likely to promote me because they want to make money. So it kind of helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Now, I don't know if that 30% is worth what I would pay an advertise in, but it's not necessarily like that money disappears. That money helps me in a different way when it goes through YouTube, if that makes sense. So I'm happy to get a mix of PayPal and Super Chat because they both help. Rain-9 says, I wish I could meet you IRL. Well, my next convention appearance is at PlayOnCon, 4th of July weekend. Although, that's the next one I have formally booked. I'm hoping to show up at BayCon in San Mateo, California over Memorial Day weekend. But I'm not going to be a formal guest. I'm just going to be attending. Okay, so if YouTube likes to make money, why can't under 1,000K sub channels be monetized? Because of scammers, basically. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need to record the outro for this video. So we're going to get the recording going. Fawcett Rememberly says, the importance you place on philosophy, history, language, and poetry is one of the many reasons you're my favorite gaming YouTuber. I'm going to a discussion of a book on poetry this Sunday. Excellent. Tapping to Tim writes, Joe, you are by far my favorite hermit because you are so involved with your community and you are so funny. Thank you for well existing. Thank you. Hey, $10 Canadian from Medieval Vixen. First time trying to donate through YouTube. Hopefully it works. It did, Medieval Vixen. It did. That's a good name. It reminds me of the Fox Lady in Robin Hood, which might not be what you're trying to go for, but yeah. Hey, welcome, Hamburger House. We are just about to record the outro. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. As you can tell, we have gotten several segments knocked out here. I've got a little bit of extra blue terracotta that I'm probably going to dump in this chest for the next hermit to use. But, having a little bit of extra materials at the end of the day, that's a small setback that I think somebody else can build off of. Feel free to leave comments in the YouTube comments section below with your own examples of little setbacks in your life that turned out to be like a good problem to have, or turned out to be representative of your growth. Don't forget, I do actually read all the comments, which was the point of the last video, where I dug out all that orange clay. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it was funny. I had a bike bell in that one, too. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Alrighty, that concludes the recording portion of the show. I don't think the stream is going to go on much longer. I'll go ahead and stick around in case anybody has some last-minute donations they want me to read out. I'm going to play a song, though, while I do, because I need to get another drink. This one is called My Destinies in Tennessee, and it's about Pokemon Go. And I'm going to pull up those links to the Google Play Store and stuff, so you guys can find the album. Here's the album on the Google Play Store. Here is the album on DistroKid, assuming I can find it. DistroKid. Oh, they have a website that's not just promoting our album. I should probably find the link that promotes our album. This one. Here we go. Hopefully Scar gets his parrot back. Here's the song.
Folks say to
Be back in a minute to thank anybody.
The very best, you gotta travel across the land. But I'm happy here at pretty good, just out walking with my friends. So you can fly from coast to coast for all the antics events. But my destiny's here in Tennessee, my Pokédex in hand. You run your laps chasing lickitung in Providence, and you arc your throws for Electabuzz in St. Louis. But when you're lost in Boston seeking Pokestops, boo-hoo, we'll all still be spinning them up on Rocket Top. It's true. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need tanglers from Los Angeles. If you're there chasing Charizard, you're making your life way too hard. Clutching garlic, pounding pavement down Ventura Boulevard. We don't need knitted queens from down New Orleans. I hate to rain on solo you, but parades need a willing crew. All those squirrels on St. Charles saw you wandering and withdrew. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Lapras from Minneapolis or polar bears from Mississippers. There's enough Weedles on Monteagle. We could evolve a swarm of Beedrill. There's enough Snubble down to Shovel. We could team Sled with Grumble. We don't need Oregon from out in Oregon or any Pikachus from up in Massachusetts. Sorry, Professor Oklahoma, we'll raid gyms in Tullahoma. Sorry, Pokecoin Palooka, we'll hatch on hikes in Chattanooga. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace.
That was My Destinies in Tennessee, written by myself, Joe Hills, and performed by my brother Sean Hills. Green Acres Pest Control Rides. My wife bought me a cowbell for our anniversary. I'm glad. Alrighty, so it looks like that was the end of the donations for the night, so I'm going to go ahead and play us out with Send Me a Wave Via Subspace, which is another song I wrote. I came up with this one, and I thought this could be a great little opening for my No Man's Sky series, which I'm sure will run for 200 episodes. It didn't, but it was a good song, and I'm glad I wrote it. And here it is, performed by my brother Sean Hills.
Send me away via subspace. Beam me a message from home. Cast me a hello in hollow. Tell me I'm not all alone. The corridors are narrow and the rations miss the mark as we fly like Xeno's arrow past the sparkles in the dark. I think of home and what I miss is picnics in the park. Though send me away via subspace. Chat me a line or two. Because though we grow distantly, relativistically, I'm coming home to you.
Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who donated, everyone who watched, everyone who commented, everyone who listened quietly while they did their dishes or ironed their clothes. If you are enjoying my work, you are participating in this community, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everyone who makes that possible for me to do for everyone. Well, and Anna Galita writes, my roommate just saw my dancing and is very concerned. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad that your roommate cares deeply about your dancing. That's a sign of a good friend. Well, until next time, stream, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Oh, and thanks for the extra $2 from Meredith Blunchley. Sorry, that's a hard one to say. Who writes, thanks for the songs. And keep adventuring.